Next up, we have Miss Dwan, escorted by number 2, Junior Emmanuel Tellez. Next up, we have Miss Flores, escorted by Junior number 12, Christian Cruz. Next up, we have Miss Garcia, escorted by number 14, Isaac Philippe. Next up, we have Miss Easy, escorted by senior number 52, Tommy Nguyen. Next up, we have our principal, Miss Giuliani, escorted by number 72, sophomore, Edgar Herrera. Next up, we have Miss Hagan Ching, escorted by senior number 28, Abraham Malacara. Next, we have Mr. Ho, escorted by number 24, sophomore Stephen McCain. Next up, we have Izagala, escorted by number 31, sophomore Ethan Reyes. Next up, Mr. Island, escorted by senior number 23, Miguel Hernandez. Next up, we have Miss Jones, escorted by both Mauricio Hernandez, number 65, and number 77, Roman Relatoni. Next up, we have Miss Joyce, escorted by sophomore, number 73, Jacob Luna. Next up, we have Mr. Young, escorted by senior number 6, Carlos Herrera. Next up, we have Miss Lockhart, escorted by senior number 22, Aaron Ortiz. junior, number 10, Andre Alvarado. Next up, we have Miss Lockhart, escorted by senior, number 22, Aaron Ortiz. Next up, we have Miss Lopez, escorted by sophomore, number 21, Eric Mahara Jr. Next up, Mr. Lupe, escorted by senior, number 11, Alex Cruz. Next up, we have Mr. Martin, escorted by junior, number 75, Carson Lavoisier. Next up, we have Miss McGowan, escorted by sophomore, number 37, Jacob Bolanos. Next teacher up, we have Miss Manrique, escorted by senior, number 57, Brian Avalos Alvarez. Next teacher up, we have Miss Novotny, escorted by senior number 1, Elijah Finanona. Next teacher, Miss Ortega, Miss Nunez, escorted by number 71, Anthony Contreras, and number 50, Francisco Avila. Next up, Miss Ortega, escorted by junior, number 33, Saul Maldonado. Faculty, Miss Perry, escorted by sophomore, number 25, Aiden McCool. Next faculty, Mr. Pickett, escorted by senior, number 51, Jesus Chavez. Faculty member, Miss Shermer, escorted by senior, number 44, Nathan Enciso. Our next faculty member, Miss Steve, escorted by junior, number 62, Sean Fuentes. Next faculty member, Miss Spencer, escorted by sophomore number 3, Henry Garcia. Next up, we have Miss Sai Santos, escorted by junior number 5, Andrew Alvarado. Our next faculty member is Miss Toe, escorted by number 12, check that, senior number 54, Jaden Vo. Next up is Mr. Troop, escorted by junior number 64, Abraham Ramos. Next up, Miss Vieira, escorted by junior number 74, Roberto Miranda. Our next faculty member, Miss Bagley, escorted by senior number 26, Anthony Magana. Next up, Mr. Haney, escorted by junior number 63, Reynaldo Diga. Next up, we have Miss Kim, escorted by junior number 36, Seth Nelson. Our next faculty member is Miss Loba.
You are tuned in to another night here on Garden Grove Unified School District Athletics High School Football Friday, again on a Thursday. David Morrow here bringing you the action live from Michael A. Monsoor Memorial Stadium tonight. We have the Rancho Alamitos Vaqueros taking on the Anaheim Colonists tonight in a non-league matchup. You've been seeing a little bit of Rancho's faculty night. This is something that they've been doing for 15 years. A player sponsors a faculty member, and they walk down this little line of cheerleaders and band members, and they take a picture, and it's a fun night for all. It's a great way to build some community here. This my alma mater, and I am not playing any favorites, but I do have green pants on. I don't wear red pants when we're covering Grove, and I don't wear light blue pants when we're covering Bolsa. So maybe a little bit of a homer game here tonight, but nonetheless, I am excited to bring you the action. And you know what? There is no better game than game day. So let's get into it, and let's take a look at the schools that we're going to be seeing here tonight. Like I mentioned, we have the Anaheim Colonists coming into Monsoor Stadium. One of the oldest schools in Orange County opened back in 1888. Their mascot, the Colonists, of course, located in Anaheim, California. They are one of many schools to call Glover Stadium home. That, of course, on the grounds of La Palma Park over there in Anaheim. Notable alumni, I mentioned these two people because I'm a New York Giants fan. So, of course, I'm going to mention Coach Jim Fossil and Ruben Drones. I forgot the end there, but Ruben Drones, who was a running back for the Giants. Two greats. Rancho, the Vaqueros. Rancho opened in 1958. Of course, their mascot, the Vaqueros, located in Garden Grove. Their home stadium, Bolsa Stadium, but tonight playing here at Michael A. Monsoor Stadium. Of course, we talk about it every week. We've got 7 schools, 2 stadiums. Sometimes schools have to play in unfamiliar grounds, but Rancho will be making themselves home tonight here nonetheless. Their notable alumni, Gary Hall Sr., who's an Olympic swimmer, and Randy Vataha, who was an NFL wide receiver. And if you're old enough to know those little NFL starting lineup figures, those little figures from back in the 80s, he is actually one of the pioneers of those little toys. Now let's take a closer look at these teams. Let's take a look at Rancho, led by head coach Mike Enright here in his, I believe, 23rd season at the helm of the Vaqueros. Last year, their record 9-2, 4-1 for a tie for first place in the Garden Grove League. Of course, that one loss during the regular season to La Quinta, tough loss there, but still were able to pull off a share of the league championship. They have 20 league titles in a row. They've won 5 in a row, looking to make it 6 this year. Their last playoff appearance, of course, last year. They've made 3 CIF championship game appearances. Their first one in 1992, a loss against Sunny Hills, 13-14. Then they made it back the next year. In 1993, they lost to Maricosta, and then they lost in 2014 to crosstown rival Garden Grove High School. So no championships for the Vaqueros, but still one of the more successful teams in the Garden Grove Unified School District. Let's take a look at their schedule so far. They beat La Sierra last week, 14-7. They're here tonight against Anaheim. They visit Savannah, Godinez, Corona, Santiago, and then Los Amigos as they get league play started. And they finish at home against Bolsa Grande, La Quinta, and Low Era. Now let's take a closer look at the Colonists. Their head coach, Lanny Boer, who has been at the helm at that school for quite a while as well. Last year, a little bit tough year for the Colonists, finishing 2-8. 2-3 in the league for 4th place. They play in the Orange League. They actually have the most league titles in Orange County history, being around that long. That's not a surprise. 31 league titles in total for this program. Their last playoff appearance in 2021. They've made 8 CIF championship game appearances, and they've won 3 CIF championships, including one played at the Los Angeles Coliseum, the most attended high school football game in the history of California. That was against Downey way back in 1967. Mickey Flynn and Randy Meadows, 2 of the biggest high school football players of that generation, going toe-to-toe in that one. The Colonists 0-2, losing to Santiago 22-20 in week 0, and then last week to Ocean View 22-7. After this week, they travel to Westminster to take on the Lions. Then they're home against Loera and Century. Then they start league play and they take on Santa Ana Valley, Magnolia, Savannah, and finish it all off against Western. Now, we mentioned we have a lot of teams in Garden Grove Unified. Tonight, Saddleback is over at La Quinta, or so over at Bolsa Grande playing La Quinta. Garden Grove is playing this week too, not sure when, but they are playing Santa Ana. Their schedule was not updated on CalPrep, so I couldn't get that one for you. And tomorrow night, full slate, Artesia visits Bolsa. Then we will have Savannah against Santiago live here tomorrow night. And then Los Amigos will be visiting University. Last week, a full slate of games. Let's take a look at those. Bolsa getting blanked by Beckman 62-0. That's a good Beckman team that they faced. And live on Thursday, you saw Garden Grove just edge Pacifica 19-14. Los Amigos opened up their on-campus stadium. The first time they've ever played on campus, with a thrilling 28-27 victory over San Bernardino. Last-minute touchdown and an interception to seal that one. Of course, we mentioned Rancho beating La Sierra 14-7. La Quinta on our Friday night game beat Godinez 23-0. And on Saturday, Santiago not able to keep up with the Lions of Westminster as they lost 26-0. We're going to bring you the action in just a bit. We're about 10 minutes away from game time here from Michael A. Monsoor Memorial Stadium. Once the captains start walking out onto the field, we will bring you the coin flip. Stay tuned.
If we can give one round of applause for all the teachers that attended faculty night. Thank you guys. Please rise for the playing of our national anthem, performed by the Rancho Alamitos Vaquero Marching Band.
We've got the captains now making their way out to the field. Captains for Rancho. Now let me grab my roster here. Shout out to Coach Hurtado for helping me get this. We have number 22, Aaron Ortiz. Number 11, Alex Cruz. Number 30, Jonathan Biggs. And number 52, Tommy Nguyen. For the Colonists, let me get their roster. I have that too. Let's hope these numbers are right. We have number 1, MJ Fernandez. Number 56, Enrique Mendez. Number 55, Derek Boyorquez. And number 44, Alan Jaimes. So, of course, this is what they do all the time before a football game. Referee introducing himself to each side. Let me see if we have our other camera going on. Not yet. Anyway, just some pleasantries, some introducing. Referee's going to show both teams the coin. Make sure there's no funny business going on. No two heads, no two tails, things like that. We're going to be trying something different out here tonight with the camera, as we will have the huddle camera as our main feed. Hoping to get that up and running shortly. So you'll see that orange screen pop up every now and then. But here we go, referee showing the coin, getting ready to flip it into the air. Asking the Anaheim captain, most likely, to call it. And there it is, and let's see what's going to happen here to start the game. Anaheim has elected to receive the ball after winning the coin toss. Let's see which end zone Rancho is electing to defend. Now, last week around this time, the sun was still kind of poking up. Of course, as the weeks go on, the sun set time creeps a little bit later, or creeps earlier and earlier around this time. So not as much sun as there was last week at this time. So Rancho will be defending the west end zone, so they're going to be going towards New York. And actually it looks like Rancho is going to be receiving the ball. Confusion here. The Rancho crowd is new to this, Anaheim, you as well. Mentioned in the last few broadcasts, I really don't start hitting my stride until about, we'll say week 9. We're only in week 3 of this, even though it's week 2. There we go, camera is now on. Let's get into our game time look here. That's not a field goal for the Vaqueros. Ignore that. Sometimes these animations have a mind of their own. Here come the Vaqueros onto the field, taking that slow little trot, and they're ready. And I'm ready for game time here at Michael A. Monsoor Memorial Stadium on the campus of Garden Grove High School. So here we go. You'll get a little bit of action being followed by the huddle camera. Now I might switch to the other camera if I so see fit, but we're going to trust the huddle camera. I'm just going to bring you the action here. Try to stay up to par with the graphics, which are already hard enough to do without running a camera. All right, so here we go. Anaheim getting ready to kick the ball off here. Back deep to receive for the Vaqueros. We're going to get you some names right now. It's number 6, Carlos Herrera, and number 11, Alex Cruz. Kicking the ball off for the Colonists. Let's take a look here as we get a number. It looks like number 16, I believe. It's going to be Ricardo Vela.
Anaheim kicking off.
Now, if you're in the chat and you know pronunciations better than I do, feel free to throw them in there. Again, you are tuned in to Garden Grove Unified School District Athletics High School Football Friday on a Thursday. David Mora bringing you the action, and here we go from Monsoor Stadium. That ball received there by number 11, Alex Cruz. Gets about a gain of 12 yards. That's going to bring up first down for the Vaqueros. Looks like that ball is going to be marked at their own 33-yard line. So let's see what the Vaqueros do here on their first drive. Of course, I'm sure they want to open this drive up strongly. Three wide receivers for the Vaqueros. Drop back to pass. Pass complete to number 2, Emmanuel Tellez. He's going to have a first down, maybe a gain of about 12 yards on the play. So that connection from Henry Garcia to Emmanuel Tellez moves the chains for the Vaqueros. So no better way to start the game here.
First down, Rancho. First down on the 43.
Snap, handoff up the middle. Nice little gain of about 5 yards on the play. Number 9 on the carry. That's Jesus Diego, who we interviewed just a few weeks ago. Feel free to catch that video on our YouTube channel. It's going to bring up second down here for the Vaqueros. Second down and a very manageable 5 yards here. Handoff again, this time to the right side again.
Handoff to number 9. Tackled by Buffalo.
Diego on the carry again. Gets maybe a gain of 1 yard on the play. It's going to bring up third down here for the Vaqueros.
Third down and 3. At the 50.
Calling it third down and 3. You know what we'll do is we'll turn the downs off here and let you look at the scoreboard there. So here we go. Vaqueros getting ready to take the snap. Trips left. Oh, draws Anaheim offsides, it looks like. So we're going to have a flag on the play.
Offsides on the defense, it seems.
Free yards for the Vaqueros, and it's going to be a first down. Rancho on the Colonists' 45-yard line now, marching into the part of the field where they want to see most of the night. Here we go, trips left for the Vaqueros. Garcia under center. Takes the snap, hands off to Diego again. He's met at the line of scrimmage and brought down, or brought to a stop by number 44, Alamitos. It's going to bring up second down and about 8 yards for the Vaqueros. They're going to give them 2 yards of forward progress on there. It's very kind of them. Garcia under center, getting ready to take the snap. Hands off to Diego one more time. And one more time, he's met at the line of scrimmage by number 44, Ellen Jaimes. It's going to bring up third down here for the Vaqueros. So the Vaqueros got that nice play on that first play of the game with the pass, and they've decided to keep it on the ground for the next 2 plays. And Anaheim sniffing out these few runs that they've had here. Brings up a third down and about 7 yards, calling it 8 yards to go. Two backs in the backfield for Garcia, 2 wide receivers. Takes the snap, drops back to pass, looks to his right, has a man open. That's complete to number 11, Alex Cruz, but it looks like he's going to be short of the first down by about 4 yards, and it's going to bring up 4th down for the Vaqueros. Personnel swap here for the Vaqueros, so it looks like they will be punting the ball. Back deep to return for the Colonists, number 4, Armando Torres Gaeta. You are tuned in to Garden Grove Unified School District Athletics High School Football Friday on a Thursday. David Mora here, bringing you the action. The punt is up, and that's going to go out of bounds at about the 19. They're calling it the 20-yard line. So that's going to be Anaheim football from their own 20-yard line, as we see what the Colonists are going to do on their first drive of the game. Actually, that ball went out of bounds. They're marking it at the 24-yard line. Or, 24-yard line. Back at quarterback for the Colonists, number 1, MJ Fernandez. They've got 3 wide receivers, 2 to the top of the screen and 1 to the bottom. Hands that ball off to number 6, Diego Benitez, who gets maybe 3 yards on the play, and it's going to bring up 2nd down. Here we go, 2nd down for the Colonists. Fernandez getting ready to take the snap, drops back to pass, looks to his right, pump fakes, rolls out, gets rid of that ball. That's complete to number 10, who's got the 1st down and some. So Art Velasquez picking up that reception and the 1st down. Looked like maybe a gain of 10 on the play. That's a Colonist 1st down. Nice little connection there from Fernandez to Velasquez. So 1st down for the Colonists from their own 38-yard line. Fernandez again getting ready to take the snap. Hands the ball off again to number 6. I believe that's Benitez. He's going to get maybe a yard on the play. That's going to bring up 2nd down at about 8. Omar Salazar on the tackle for the Vaqueros. First drives of the game are always interesting. You've got both sides trying to test out what they can get away with, see what plays are going to work. Hard to judge what's going to happen during a game by the first drive. 3 wide receivers for the Colonists. Fernandez passes it to number 4 over the middle. That's a 1st down and some gain of about, call it 15 yards on the play. It's Armando Torres Gaeta on the reception, but there is a flag on the play. Right now the ball is spotted at the Vaquero 45-yard line. Begin about 17 yards on the play, but that penalty is going to be on the Vaqueros, an extra 5 yards on that play. So that's a net gain of 22, and it's a 1st down for the Colonists in Vaquero territory. So here you go, 1st down for the Colonists. Fernandez getting ready to take the snap. Benitez in the backfield to his right, 3 wide receivers. Fakes the handoff, rolls out the pass, throws it. Incomplete pass, that intended for number 12, Victor Mejia. Brings up 2nd and 10 for the Colonists. Mentioned earlier, Anaheim, one of the oldest teams in the county. Being one of the oldest, they've actually only played in 2 leagues their whole time. Started off in the Orange League, and the Orange League got really powerful and actually grew exponentially there, I believe, in the 40s, and they had to break off that league into two leagues. And that was that became the birth of the Sunset League. Sunset League still around, probably the toughest public school league in the county. Fernandez takes the snap, hands the ball off to Benitez. It goes to the left side, has some room.
And on to number 6 for a gain of 8.
Gain of 8 on the play. So like I said, that old Orange League was broken up into two, created the Sunset League, and Anaheim stayed in the Sunset League until, I believe, 1973, 1974, moved back to the Orange League where they're at still. So not a lot of movement. We see a lot of movement with some of these teams going to 4 or 5 different leagues in their lifespan, and they've opened 60 years later than Anaheim. So third down here for the Colonists. Handoff to Benitez. Looks like he might have the first down. Brought down by number 77, Roman Ueligatoni. Might have said that wrong. I apologize. Also mentioned 31 league championships for the Colonists. Had a lot of their success in the 50s and 60s under Coach Claire Van Orbeck. I looked it up, couldn't get it. Fernandez drops back to pass. Intended from Mejia, incomplete. It's going to bring up 2nd and 10 for the Colonists. So Coach Van Orbeck, one of the most successful coaches in the county. His winning percentage is 77%, second only to Bruce Rawlinson. Some good company to be in, and he did not coach as long as Coach Rawlinson. Fernandez with Benitez to his right, takes the snap, fakes the pass, decides to keep it, goes up the middle. Nothing on that play. That's going to bring a third down for the Colonists. We got about 4 minutes and 50 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. Anaheim still on their first drive of the game. Rancho's first drive ended in a punt in Colonist territory. Third and 8 here for the Colonists from the Rancho 27-yard line. Fernandez takes the snap, hands the ball off. Benitez. Gain of 2 on the play. It's going to bring up 4th down. Mentioned this is a lot of times 4-down territory here for high school teams. Not many have a kicker who can, kick a 30, 40-yard field goal. This one would have been like a 26-yard field goal or so. Anaheim keeping their offense on the field. Statistically, better to go for it than punt it in any situation. Two receivers for the Colonists. Fernandez takes the snap, looks to pass, feels the pressure, and he's going to get taken down by number 77. Roman Ueligatone. It's going to be Rancho's ball now, going from left to right. Ball's going to be on the Rancho's own 27-yard line. So yeah, I mentioned, just the history of Anaheim being such an old school, classic football program there. 577 total victories. That's 5th most in county history. I mentioned Mickey Flynn earlier, called him the ghost of La Palma Park. His cousin was Jim Fossil. Both of them, of course, went to Anaheim High School. Vaqueros, 3 wide receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. Garcia getting ready to take the snap. Rolls out to his right. Pass is complete to number 44, but not much on that play. Maybe to the line of scrimmage as Garcia finds Nathan Enciso on that completion. They're going to give him the ball or spot that ball at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 here for the Vaqueros. Here we go, second down for the for the Vaqueros. They actually called that a loss of 1, so they spotted it 1 yard behind. Well, 2nd and 11. Garcia getting ready to take the snap. A little bit of movement on the Anaheim defensive line. Garcia now looking to the sideline. Maybe changing things up a bit. Takes the snap, hands off to Diego, who gets nothing, met in the backfield. Brought down by number 52 and number 44. Number 44, Alan Hymas, is probably going to be mentioned all night. So Anaheim, one of the oldest schools here, mentioned that they had the record for most attendees at a high school football game in California history. It was December 14th, 1956, 41,383 people went to the Coliseum to watch them play Downey in the division final. Now, a lot of people were saying that it was a lot more than that 41,000. They kind of guessed it at somewhere around 60,000, they say. About 20,000 people went in after they stopped taking tickets, as that penalty is going to be on the Vaqueros and it's going to move them back 10 yards or so, 5 yards. It's going to bring up a third down and 16 for the Vaqueros. Anaheim actually has 3 other games that are mentioned in the top 13 most attended games in California football history, and we'll go over those right now. Garcia getting ready to take the snap. Vaqueros with 3 wide receivers, gets rid of that ball quick, has a completion to number 6, Carlos Herrera, but he's going to get maybe to the original line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up 4th down and 9 for the Vaqueros. So Anaheim owns all the California record. Of course, they own, that's in LA County, at the Coliseum. But they played at Anaheim Stadium in 1966 in a semifinal game against Mater Dei. 33,374 were there to watch that game. That's an Orange County record. As that punt is received by number 4, Armando Torres Gaeta, and he gets maybe a gain of about 3 yards on the play. Also, their 4A Division Championship game against Santa Ana on December 15th, 1967, witnessed by 26,383 fans. Talk about that semifinal game that has the record for Orange County. Well, in that same year, in the division final at the Coliseum, facing El Rancho, another legendary coach on that program, leading that program. Coach Ernie, can't remember his last name right now for El Rancho, but that game witnessed by 25,000 people. Pass by Fernandez, intended for Mejia, and it's incomplete. Ernie Johnson was the name of El Rancho's coach at that time. Anyway, if you think about it, you've got 4 times that Anaheim is mentioned, and each time against a different opponent. So you can safely assume that Anaheim was the one putting people in those seats each and every single time. Of course, high school football, back then, a lot different. Anaheim was the only high school in town at that time. Now, they've got about 8 or 9. You know, during those days, not that many high schools in Orange County. Fernandez takes a snap, hands off to Benitez, who takes it to the right side, has some room, has a first down, still on his feet, 35, 30, still on his feet, finally brought down, and it looks like by number 6. Carlos Herrera on the tackle. Big gain there by the Colonists. That takes them deep into Rancho territory, and there's a flag on the play. So they might be getting even more yards. It's going to be a personal foul. Face mask on the Vaqueros. So big yardage added to the end of that run for the Colonists. They're looking good now. Ball at the Vaquero 13-yard line. 15-yard penalty added to the end of that run. Not what you want to see for Rancho. Rancho only their second game, so maybe some kinks that still need to be worked out here for this team as the Colonists line up for this first down play. 3 wide receivers for the Colonists. Fernandez getting ready to take the snap, hands it off to Benitez, who takes it right to the right side. Nice gain on the play. Looks like maybe a gain of 9 or 10. Ball now on the Vaquero 4-yard line. Clock running at 30 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. Let's see if the Colonists try to run a play or if they're content with just letting the quarter end. It looks like they just might be doing that as there's no sense of urgency. Now under 15 seconds to go here. They might be just trying to run one play here. Fernandez takes the snap, hands it off to Benitez. He goes to the left side, and he's going to score. It's going to be a touchdown for Anaheim. So the Colonists taking the early 6-0 lead here with 0.4 of a second left to go here in the first quarter. Let's see if they can tack on this extra point to make it 7-0. That drive was a healthy dose of Diego Benitez for the Colonists. The Vaqueros are probably going to have to try to find a way to slow him down. They did a good job on that first drive, but it looks like he settled in on that second drive. Kick is up. That kick is good. 7-0 Colonists over the Vaqueros. Early here, or late, super late in the first quarter. So the Vaqueros punting on their first 2 drives of the game. Colonists able to punch it in on their second drive. Let's see how the Vaqueros answer here on what is most likely going to be the last play of the first quarter. Again, back deep to receive for the Vaqueros. It looks like number 6, the deep guy, Carlos Herrera. Kicking off here for the Colonists, Ricardo Vela. Kick is up. It's going to be received and actually dropped by number 11, Alex Cruz. He's not going to get much on the return. The Vaqueros are going to start back at about the Colonists' 20-yard line. They're going to give him that forward progress. And it's the end of the first quarter here. End of the first quarter, the Colonists have a lead on the Vaqueros, 7-0. Still plenty of ball game left to be played here at Monsoor Stadium. Definitely no time to panic. Had to take a little breather, fix up the scoreboard camera so we could get a nice clear view of those numbers so we know what's going on in this game. You are tuned in to Garden Grove Unified School District Athletics High School Football Friday. David Mora bringing you the action. Rancho Alamitos Vaqueros, Anaheim Colonists. We will be here tomorrow night once again. Second week in a row, we're bringing you 2 games. Tomorrow, La Quinta hosting Saddleback. La Quinta looking to make it their second win in a row after defeating Godinez 23-0 last week in a good game. Not La Quinta, Santiago. We're okay, it's Santiago against, we'll get to it right now. Vaqueros' first snap of the second quarter. Handoff to Diego gets maybe to the line of scrimmage. We're not covering La Quinta Saddleback. La Quinta Saddleback are playing tonight. We are covering Santiago Savannah. Santiago is looking to bounce back after their defeat at the hands of the Westminster Lions last week. They're looking to improve their record to 2-1. We saw Savannah in week 0 against Bolsa. They are looking to get their first win of the season. That'll be live here tomorrow night on Garden Grove Unified School District Athletics High School Football Friday. On a Friday this time. Second down for the Vaqueros here from the Colonists 20-yard line. Trips left bunch here for the Vaqueros. Garcia getting ready to take the snap. Man in motion. Garcia drops back to pass, looks to the right, passes it to Diego, and he's going to fail to come up with it. It's going to bring up a third down here for the Vaqueros. So let's see if the Vaqueros can convert on this third down and get something going here. Garcia under center, trips left for the Vaqueros. Now he drops back into shotgun. Takes the snap, rolls out to his left. That ball complete to number 5, gets maybe a gain of about 5 yards on the play. That completion to Andrew Polito, as we are now joined in the booth here. And we'll get these headsets on these fine folks here. I'll let you introduce yourselves. We'll get the volume up here. So here we go. We're good.
Yep.
So welcome to the booth.
Thank you.
Introduce yourselves,
it's exciting.
please. 2 of the newest administrators here at Rancho.
Good. I'm Linda Giuliani. I'm new principal here at Rancho Alamitos.
I'm Greg Primo. I am the new assistant principal here at Rancho Alamitos.
And of course, Linda, you came from Pacifica.
I did. I was at Pacifica, and then before that, Bolsa.
I was at Garden Grove High School for 24 years.
There you go.
For a
And,
while.
we had both of them last week here live, so the connections just keep going.
Yeah, right.
We just try to make connections here. As the Colonists will be getting the ball. Not sure what happened there, but they have the ball in some very good field position at the Rancho 40-yard line to start this third drive. So, tell us, start of the school year for both of you on a new campus. How's it been so far?
It's been awesome. The students are amazing. Faculty's amazing. It's a great atmosphere on campus, and it's a great atmosphere anywhere you go. Out on the football field, kids running track, cheerleaders practicing, wherever you are, it's a lot of fun.
And of course, that nice new track.
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Beautiful. New football, new fencing.
Yeah.
A lot of new on our campus. So the kids are excited, which is probably the most important for me. I want the kids to be excited and the community to get excited. It's some great things we're seeing over at the ranch, and it's been fun to learn the nuances of the campus, the people, and the kids. It's been great. 3 weeks so far. We're coming up on 3 weeks now. It's been a great start of our school year. There we go.
Benitez gets nothing on that carry. Beautiful tackle by, looks like number 4, Luis Lopez. And Greg, you look a lot better in green. I told him earlier.
I was going to say it, but you took the words out of my mouth.
A lot better.
Right there.
Yeah, I have got a couple ribs about now being at the ranch after spending such a long time here at Garden Grove High School. So it's been great. They've brought me on just as like I've been there forever. I'm watching our student section and listen to our student section, and they're great.
And you know what, for a Thursday, to have students out here and just ready to go, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
We had a great crowd. We had a great crowd for a Thursday night game. I know sometimes with Thursday nights with other obligations, we have school tomorrow, right?
And not only a Thursday night game,
I'm not sure.
A Thursday night game not at Bolsa.
Yeah.
So, maybe it might not be further, but it seems further away, right?
Well, and faculty night was amazing. So all our faculty coming out and getting to hang out with one of the kids and walk out with them, that was just fun.
Yeah, that's definitely awesome to see.
I'd like to see a school that does faculty night better. It really is a testament to Coach Enright, his wife, Cindy Enright, who does a lot of the legwork, who's also one of our
athletic attendants.
Yes. So she does a great job, and the teachers are all here. They enjoy it. The kids look forward to this, and they ask teachers well in advance to escort them onto the field. So it's a great tradition for sure.
Yeah, it's awesome. Coach Hurtado was telling me it's like the 15th year that they've done it so far, and that's awesome to have something sustain that kind of longevity, right? Where it hasn't kind of gone by the wayside. So that's awesome.
And teachers bringing their kids out and enjoying the night of, Thursday night, Friday night football, high school football in general.
Yeah, that's awesome. Looks like the Vaqueros have the ball.
There we go.
We're just waiting for the chain gang to move. Notice chain gang's early in the season. It's a little bit laggy.
Just trying to figure it out. Listen, I had to fill in once at Bolsa. It was not a good night on the chain gang, I'll tell you that much.
And I do, as being an old football coach, I do give them a lot of support because they are needed just like everybody else out here. So I know sometimes it's easier for coaches to give them a little ribbing every once in a while, but especially early in the season when they get their groove on. So it's great to be out here, though. This is beautiful.
And Manuel is on that carry for maybe a loss of one, or they're going to...
Yeah, it looks like about a loss of one.
Loss of one. Rancho, a little bit of some growing pains here to start the game, but I expect them to kind of settle in as the night goes on here. Still a lot of ball game left to be played.
Yep.
Got a 3-by-1 here. Gun situation. All right.
Garcia takes the snap, drops back to pass, looks to his left, feels the pressure, lets that one go. A little dangerous throw, and that's luckily that it was not intercepted.
Lucky he didn't get picked off.
Yeah, that was
scary.
Those late throws over the middle, no coach likes to see.
Yeah, no kidding.
Right, Linda?
I guess. Greg thinks it's funny that I'm in speaking at a football game because I have no idea what I'm saying.
So I'll tell you, I've tuned into other schools and how they do their live broadcasts. In Valencia, they have students help out.
Ah, sweet.
And these are students who have never been to football games before.
Ah.
And there's no better way to learn a game than to be thrown right into something that gives you that bird's eye view of what's going on. And I think it's great. Garcia drops back to pass, looks to his right, little screen pass. And that one looks like it might have been intercepted.
Yeah, I think it was.
54 for the Colonists.
Intercepted by the Colonists. Let's get that name there, Joshua Meza on the interception. And Vaqueros just finding it a little difficult here in the first half.
Well, what a great opportunity for these kids to play and be able to, I know we have the huddle cameras and the kids are used to seeing themselves videotape so they can learn, get better, but just to have parents that may not be able to have attended the event, or maybe aunt or uncle that lives in a different state to have this opportunity. It's
fantastic.
It is great.
You know what we find? So we found during week 0 that, and even last week, that the visiting team has a lot of people. Like Savannah had a bunch of people. We saw Go Savannah, Go Savannah. Last week, Godinez had a lot of people
that
in.
was almost picked. Sorry, Dave.
Rancho almost getting that ball back.
That's the old coaching me. I'm
there you go, Dave.
And get excited.
Hey,
sorry.
You got to do it. That's what we bring up here. We bring that excitement. I haven't had a chance to jump up and down and pace around tonight, but I'm sure I'll get that later.
It's a nice little setup you have up here. It's nice.
You know, it's all because I can't see so far, and I'm hoping that these screens and monitors help me get a good view of what's going on. But yeah, we definitely we love bringing this to our communities, our parents, our players, and it's fun for me to be up here and be able to bring this to everyone, and to get our faculty and our admin up here with me, and have some good conversation and talk about things. So at Rancho, what do you have coming up that you're excited about that you want to kind of let everyone know about?
Let's think about that one.
Well, you on the spot?
Right now, I know putting us on the spot, David, but just we just had our back to school night last night.
Yeah, it was
which
nice.
It was good to see all of our community come out and see our teachers and listen to the conversations that we heard on campus with our community, with our teachers, helping our students and our community get a better understanding of what Rancho's all about. Being at Rancho just a short time now, it's been a lot of learning about the heritage at the ranch and all the great things that are going on. So the back to school night was a really good event last night. I know that was before, but
I mean, for me, I think the thing I love the most is just like we see our teams improve every week. After school, we walk out and the band's out there working, and we see our track guys out there, and our Frostoff team got to play their first game on the turf, which was amazing.
Right.
So
Nice.
for me, it's just every club, every activity that's out there doing something, you just see them getting better and becoming just more cohesive throughout the year. That's the thing that I love the most about being out of high school.
And the whole community just starts building, and you see that kind of swell of everyone getting into the swing of things. As looks like that's going to be a penalty on the Vaqueros, giving the Colonists a first down now. Ball at the 23-yard line. Yeah, I step on the campus, and I've been to campus here and there over the last 20 years or so, and it just feels so different for me, and different in a bittersweet way, right? But still good to see, the new turf and the new track and field, all of the lighting going on, and
yeah, it's beautiful.
it feels a lot more open, right? So I don't know if you guys fumble. Let's see if Rancho can get that ball back. It looks like the Colonists recovered it. So there used to be a long fence along separating the basketball courts from that little area by the locker room, and I was on campus the other day, and that's gone, but it feels so open.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's awesome to
Opened
see.
it up and try to get a little more grass in there, and just have it be a little bit greener too, even with all the other stuff going in. So it's been nice.
It is awesome to see the old trees that we have that are still there. The shade they provide for the students, and we have an area that's almost like a picnic lawn for the kids at lunchtime, and the kids enjoy it. They enjoy the grass, they enjoy the green, right?
That quad, there's no quad like it.
Yeah.
In the district.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I mean, Pacifica and La Quinta, open areas. Los Amigos, open area. Garden Grove, just the way it's situated, there's not a quad like it.
Yeah.
There's areas, where you can kind of escape the sun.
And Santiago has a quad, but it doesn't have the trees.
Yeah,
right?
not big
as
ones.
Many trees, right?
So
the old growth. Another penalty, huh?
Yep. So Colin is getting free yards here.
Yeah, those free yards, they're tough to see as a coach. I know on the sideline.
See, plenty of trees. And I remember, when I was younger, that quad was actually where Rancho graduated, believe it or
Oh,
not.
I love that.
Yeah, they would. So not only Rancho, but Alamitos would also go over there and
That's
graduate.
fantastic.
Heartbreaking, I have to say this. My 8th grade year, I was at Alamitos. That was the first year that they switched graduations.
Oh, see how it happens.
I thought you were going to say COVID, David.
I mean, I'm sorry,
to bring
David.
that
That's
word up,
sticking
but-
with you. I'm sorry that that's still with you.
Yeah, it was, looking forward to it, being there. It's it's okay. I didn't go to Rancho that next year because my dad was a plant supervisor at Rancho. And they moved him to Los Amigos my freshman year, so
You went with him. Huh?
I went with him.
Yeah.
So I guess it was okay.
Well, I mean, I'm homegrown from Garden Grove Unified. I went to elementary, middle, and high school in Garden Grove Unified.
Where did you go to high school?
Pacifica. I was graduated in 1992.
Okay.
So yeah, and then working in Garden Grove Unified since I was a young adult.
There you go.
22. So,
Something about Pacifica, like Coach Franzman.
Yeah.
Over at
he was
lifelong,
He was my coach.
There you
Oh,
go.
was he
When I was
really?
there,
That's
yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
I worked for the Randy last year.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Yeah. So Coach Franzman was, still there now, still teaching geometry over there. So, yeah, there's a lot of heritage, and Coach Cepeda, the head coach at Grove, was one of my students too. So it's sort of a fun connection with all the different levels and layers of Garden Grove Unified. So.
Oh yeah, you can point out a lot of it, and you see, you could put together a nice little, all county team with some of the people who you teach here.
It's a testament to the district, right? That we have families and people that want to stay connected with where they got an education from, and I think that's probably one of the reasons why I stayed was I received a good education and I wanted to give back to the same community. So it's been my career, which it's been a little bit,
Yeah.
It's been a great time. So
Yeah.
and Linda and I worked before
Ages ago,
Ages
together
ago,
here.
we worked here at Garden Grove High School.
Yeah, I
together,
was a
so
counselor here at Grove for a while.
Yeah, my dad's here now.
Yeah.
I don't hold it against him. It's okay.
I parked in his parking spot.
I usually,
I thought about it and decided not to. I found another spot.
I take advantage too when that gate's not open. I'll say, you know what? Yeah. It's like, look the name up on the license plate. He's borrowing my car for the day.
Exactly.
So Colonists with a 4th down, and they're going to actually measure to try and see if they got the first down.
I don't think they have it. That's my guess. I'm going to think positive.
There you go. Yep. But I believe it's only going to be 4th down. So they'll still have the ball, and it looks like they are short. Are they going to bring out the card? Remember the card in the...
Yeah.
Yep, they're calling it short.
Right.
Here we go. Big 4th down here for the Vaqueros. Can they stop the Colonists from getting this first down? Deep.
These are
in their own territory.
These are momentum changers right here.
Big time. Big play here could swing things back into Rancho's favor.
They made it happen last week. I mean, they stopped them when they had to. They almost lost the game, but their defense pulled it out for them. So hopefully they do it right here.
Here we go. Interesting here that Anaheim is actually in the gun right now. Yeah, that's you don't see that old school football much really. So here we go. Let's see. Hand off to Benitez, and he's going to get that first down.
Yeah, he sure is.
Short of the end zone, though.
What a beautiful night for football, though. I mean, we were talking about that earlier, just the spattering of clouds.
I say this every time we're here, but the sunsets at Monsoor are different than any. You just look to the
just
to
like
the west
this,
there.
like little vista right here. It's gorgeous.
They're awesome. They're beautiful. Benitez on the carry again, and they're going to give that to him. That's going to be a touchdown for the Colonists.
And one view from this stadium that not a lot of people probably know is anytime it snows or rains, to come up to the top of this stadium and look at the San Bernardino Mountains is one of the best views
Right
in
after,
Orange
right?
County that people don't know.
Oh, yeah. And, of course, these bleachers, just due to the fact that the campus is so constrained, sit higher than Bolsa.
It's a good way to put it, David. That was a good word, constrained.
Yeah, constrained. and I know for sure that they're higher because when I'm bringing all this stuff up, I can feel.
You can feel it. There's a couple extra steps.
Yeah.
I got it.
That field goal is good. It's going to be a 14-0 lead for the Colonists here. 4 minutes and 18 seconds left to go here in the second quarter. But Bolsa, I like the view at Bolsa too. You get the Saddleback Mountains out in the distance, and
It's just
Yeah,
different.
it's- But just the
like the
sunset
kids
here,
say, it hits
yeah.
different here, right? Like you see the whole view. It's and then you get the Disneyland fireworks
Yeah.
at the end of a game
There you
usually.
go.
So on a Friday night, sometimes on a Thursday night, I guess now.
And I think for me, the biggest thing here, the most special part is, of course, the reason why it's named Michael A. Monsoor Memorial Stadium. And seeing that the Navy SEAL crest in the middle of the field, it's just his story and just the history behind him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can remember being here for the dedication, and it was really special.
It was awesome,
Just
yeah,
to be
the-
with everyone that had been an educator for him and his family. It was amazing.
He graduated the year before I came to Grove. I coached his younger.
Nice return going here, not to interrupt you, but we got a nice return by number 11. Takes it around the left side. It's going to be brought down by the kicker. Alex Cruz had one man to beat, but hey, Rancho starting in great field position here.
So getting to know the family during
Yep.
the tragedy and then the successive honoring of Garden Grove Unified naming the field after him, which was a great time to be here and celebrate somebody who definitely deserved that honor.
And I think
They're a special family.
Oh yeah, and especially for me, like when it happened, in my head, I'm like, there's no way that stadium at one point is not going to be renamed.
Right.
And I'm glad they waited until they kind of built it up to be something.
Right.
Yeah.
That was nice. Oh, down, ball on the ground.
It's a little exchange issues there from the Vaqueros, and they're going to get that ball back. Second down. Yeah, I always talk about the older stadiums, and they had their charm. You know, they weren't beautiful, but they had their charm.
Coaching at the old Garden Grove Stadium. You could call it charm.
Yeah.
I'm just glad the students. I'm glad the students and coaches actually have the new digs.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
The new home. It was time. The lighting was never the best.
Oh no,
and
no.
You know, and like you said, it did have some charm. But I'm so glad that our current students get to play on a top of the. Oh, sorry, watching the game. Top of the line stadium, the track.
Yeah.
This used to be a moat when it rained, so now having the drainage fixed and everything, these kids get such a better education, with better facilities, and we got to thank the taxpayers for funding this. That's
and of course, used by physical education as well, not just the athletic teams. And the band comes out here and they practice.
Yep.
And Vaqueros still trying to find their way into Colonists territory here. 2 minutes and 44 seconds left with the clock winding down here in the first half.
So Dave, when you get to CBS or NBC, don't forget the little people.
Right.
I'm gonna need you. I'll need some help if if you're ever looking for a career change.
I'm just going to say I'm probably not your person, but
You never know. Hey, there's always a need for a new perspective.
Right.
That's what we like to say.
Earlier I was talking about, before you guys came up here, how just everything's kind of changed in high school football, and everything's just changed, in society. I remember 30 years ago, Garden Grove TV was always at the Garden Grove League games, and they had their little show. And
Channel 3.
For me, the reason why I'm up here doing that is because I watched that as I was a child, and I want these students and these families to experience what I was able to experience, and seeing those games live and seeing just a little bit of something special for their games to give it that big time feel.
I love that. It makes a difference. It makes a difference for the students and for the families, for sure.
Yeah. And we're not the Trinity League, we're not the Sunset League. We're not going to get that coverage. And we've got athletes, we've got competition, especially in the Garden Grove League, where last year you had La Quinta surprising everyone and beating Rancho, and just from top to bottom, anyone can beat anyone in this league.
And that these schools, a powerhouse one decade is not a powerhouse the next decade.
No,
so that's been Los Amigos in the mid 2000s, Rancho in the 90s. That were powerhouses for those times. Grove's been top lately, but
they had those down years,
those ebbs and flows. So it's good to see that true community football. That's what I like to call it, true community football.
Oh yeah, and that's the best part about it, is when these two teams are playing each other, or like these teams playing each other, they know each other. They see each other in the community. Maybe they've gone to the same elementary schools or the intermediate schools. Nice punt there by the Vaqueros.
Yeah.
Ball's going to roll to the 15-yard line.
All right, big stop and a score right before halftime. Get right
There we
back
go.
into
Get them
this.
right into it. Even with the addition of Loera to the Garden Grove League, their boundaries butt right up to Garden Grove.
Right.
So it's like it makes perfect sense.
And Rancho.
And Rancho, that's right, yeah.
Our boundary does go up to Euclid and Orangewood.
That's right, yeah. Right there.
I just learned that today. I'm learning new stuff every day, which has been great. We're lucky to work with an administrative staff, and our teachers have been very welcoming and grateful, and our administrative staff has welcomed me with open arms. So I'm learning a lot, which is awesome. So we have great leadership.
Oh, that pass complete over the middle to number 4. He's going to get a big gain. Still on his feet, hard to bring down. Who is that? That is Armando Torres Gaeta. Big passing catch there for the Colonists. Gets him into Rancho territory.
Hit that seam right up the middle.
Yeah, Anaheim, now they've played 14 times since 2006. Anaheim has not won a game since 2000, I believe, 10 or so. Rancho on a 10-game winning streak here against the Colonists.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
Yeah, so Colonists might be playing with a little bit of a revenge on their mind here. Of course, losing last year's game. Garcia takes the snap, looks to pass again. Feels the pressure. Let's go. That ball has a man open, number 23. At the 18-yard line. That pass caught by Steven Nava. So the passing game now.
We got someone down.
We have a Vaquero down. I want to take this time to give a shout out to our trainers.
That's a great thing we have now that I wasn't. We
We
weren't lucky enough to have when I coached. We did not. We had to find our own outside trainers. So now, you know, player safety being number one, and getting those trainers that are at practices and at game nights,
and they get to know
all sports.
they get to know the student athletes, and they get to understand, what their injuries are, and maybe kind of give them that good advice since they're always on campus, and that's definitely a good thing to have.
Yeah, I was going to say our coaches and our kids really appreciate them, and they have a good working relationship with them every day.
Was number 11 Alex Cruz, and he's getting up, walking off the field on his own there. Hopefully we'll see him in action after.
And talking about like staff, Coach Enright's staff, the continuity on his staff. I've coached against Coach Enright for a long time, and some of the guys that are still there are still there today. So it's
23 years in counting.
Yeah, so that's a great testament to the program that he runs over at Rancho, and the kids have the utmost respect for him. And my first introduction to Rancho football on the inside was at our dedication for our new stadium, and the boys couldn't have made me more proud. The way they acted, the way they were there to celebrate their field, and they called it their field, which rightfully so, because they were the first ones to get to play on it. And but we were there with our soccer programs, track and field, our band. So we had everybody out there, and you could see the respect that they have for Coach.
So, we mentioned Enright being there for 23 years. Of course, his predecessor was a Rancho graduate, Coach Case, who's still at Foothill. So both of them, longevity here, and we're, good to see. And that's what we love to see is coaches who are just able to just coach generations, right? I'm sure he's going to at some point start seeing the sons of his players.
I think we're already there.
Right?
We're definitely already there.
Yeah, I think we're there.
Yeah, we're there. So that's one of the best things about teaching in a district so long. Seeing, I say when I see grandkids, I thought about hanging it up, but I can't speak too soon.
For me, that's one thing I'm very uncomfortable with is now I go on campuses and I see my friends' children.
Yeah.
I just wanted to. You need
Welcome
to leave.
To our world.
Exactly.
You all need to transfer. Just get out. Just leave.
Well, I'll say, our students have a certain kind of relationship with their teachers. They have a different kind of relationship with us, but there's something really unique and cool about a player-coach relationship.
Oh yeah.
Not even the band. You see Mr. Pauline out there, and the kids, the way they look to him and the way he guides them is just it's fun to be a part of and fun to just see.
Yeah, it's special because they both have a shared passion, right?
Yep.
And they're learning, and a lot of these kids are being guided by those coaches. A lot of them probably, like us at work, we see the people at work a lot more than we see our families at times because we're working late and we're spending a lot of time doing things. So you develop those connections, with coaches and with teachers, and especially, we haven't even mentioned the ASB kids who are here, probably
day and night,
6 a.m. to 6 p.m., 8 p.m., at some times. And
our cheerleaders are at everything. And, what's great is at Rancho, whenever you ask, it's, sure, we're there. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. Oh, can I check my schedule?
Yeah.
It's for sure. Like, I will be there. What do you need? Not, oh, let me check my schedule. So that great feeling to know that we have a community that really cares about this school.
Yeah. So we get back to the action here. Colonists still trying to punch it in. About a minute and 7 seconds left to go here. In the first half, they have a second and goal situation here. So we've seen incomplete pass on that last play.
This is a big stop. Colonists get the ball to start second half.
Yep, you know, if they can go in with a 21-0 for them, it'll be beautiful. For Rancho, it'll be a little bit
tough.
Disheartening to go into half with 21-0 deficit. And then
big stop here.
So let's see. Garcia takes a snap, decides to keep it. He's got some room.
Yeah.
And he's going to get into the end zone. Touchdown.
That's
Colonists.
hard to see.
Yep.
So tough going here in the first half with the Vaqueros. You know what the good thing is? You can go and you can go in and you got a second half. You got a second half, and you have that halftime period to regroup.
Turn it around.
That's my coach. There's always a second half, right?
Yeah.
You never know. And you don't see our kids. Hopefully, they're going to come out and fight till the final whistle, right? That's I know that's the mentality Coach Enright's going to have going into halftime, letting the kids know, hey, there's still a half to play, and we got to keep fighting till the end and keep learning. And that's what's the good thing about non-league, right? We're getting ready for league.
Exactly.
Win or lose, you're getting ready for league.
Exactly.
So,
and you know what?
Over.
Hey, this is a Rancho team that went 9-1 last year. So if anyone can do it, it's this team. And Coach Enright can get in that locker room at halftime, make those adjustments to have these kids settle down, and they're not going to let these kids get down on themselves. And we will see a fight from Rancho coming out of the half here. Hey, you know what? There's a minute left.
All right.
Kickoff return here. We saw a nice return on the last kickoff return here.
Yep.
So let's see if they can make something happen here with a minute left to go here in the first half. Trying to get the number of who's back deep to receive here for the Vaqueros. It looks like number 9, yes.
Number 9.
Jesus Diego, their running back.
I think he was the first student I met on campus, number 9.
With his bleached hair.
Yeah.
Chewy, yeah, it goes like Chewy, right? So he was the first one who came up, was like, who are you? Which is great.
And he's going to receive that ball way back inside the 5-yard line. Takes it out to about the 23 before he's taken down. So 56 seconds left for the Vaqueros to get something going here. Plenty of time.
Yeah.
Again, we interviewed Jesus, and you can catch that video on our YouTube. It's GGUSD Athletics.
It's cool, the Instagram that they did over all the schools with the lights.
Let me tell you something.
The drone with that was cool.
Dave
awesome.
Mameli has dedicated himself to learning videography and photography, and he is kicking butt out there. That video was awesome, just to see how he had them turn on, and
And those of you who don't know who Dave is, Dave's our district athletic director, and does a great job for all of our district sites, getting information out and supporting all of our sites.
Gain of about 5 yards on the play. Yeah, does a very good job of being that middle person now to kind of deal with things on the athletic side, and does a great job of marketing our programs. And
he does. He called that day on whatever it was one day during the week, and he said, just let your guys know I'm going to be out there at night. I'm going to turn the lights on and off. Tell them not to worry about it.
Beautiful catch by the Vaqueros.
There
It looks
you
like
go.
they've got something going. That catch by number 2. Emmanuel Tell is getting that ball into Colonists territory.
See,
So here we
David,
go.
you're the one that brought him low.
There we go. It's plenty of time here. They've got timeouts.
They got to set the chains. Don't start it.
Looks like Rancho may have called a timeout here. And they did. 23 seconds left to go here in the first half. Ball on the 31-yard line. Rancho looking to make something happen here and steal that momentum back from the Colonists going into halftime. That's just the kind of play that they needed to kind of get them going and
Absolutely. They
get
looked
them
like they
settled
were
in. Yeah,
starting
yeah.
to feel like they couldn't make it happen.
Yeah. So let's see what Coach Enright has dialed up here. You got trips bunch right for the Vaqueros, 4 wide receivers. Diego in the backfield with Garcia as he gets ready to take the snap. Got a man in motion. Garcia,
Got a false start. Looks like a false start, huh? Yeah, false
flag
start.
on the play. 21 seconds left to go here.
David, if I wasn't so busy, I would like to do this with you, man. This
You
is
know,
so fun. I wish you would have done this a couple years ago. See?
Let me
Jeez.
tell you, there was one person who I thought would be able to join me all the time, and even last year I said it's Mr. Primo. He'd be the one. He'd be the one.
I don't know. I bring a lot of knowledge. You might change your mind on that one.
I'm too busy. Sorry,
Right?
bud. Sorry.
I know.
I don't have that much time in the day. It is fun, though. You know, it is fun. You know, this is one of the best things. This is when you learn about the kids, right? I mean, this is where you get to meet their families, meet the kids, and see what makes them tick a little bit. And I know they appreciate, even though they don't tell us, they appreciate it, right? They appreciate all of this. And when the teachers come out and watch and enjoy, they may not articulate it, but I know they sure act and respond to it.
So let me see in the chat here. Joseph Lee. Joseph, is this JoJo from Bolsa? Let's see if he responds, and that'll.
Oh, that was a good
that ball
cutoff technique
underthrown.
by number 9.
And this is so Joseph plays for Bolsa, and he's in here watching the
Joseph,
stream.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
I remember Joseph.
Yep, interviewed him. Awesome. He's got. Greg, you're gonna like this. He's got that butterfly collar.
Oh, yeah.
That pops out.
Okay.
I told him, but you don't see that much anymore.
The neck roll.
Yes,
the neck
sir.
roll. The old Brian
Yep.
Bosworth neck roll.
Well, so not the Brian Bosworth.
Oh, not that
It's
one?
that butterfly, the McDavid, the
yeah.
Douglas McDavid
Yeah,
ones.
No, yep. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was thinking too old.
Yeah, you went.
I went way old.
You went way back. It's an incomplete play.
All right.
So 15 seconds left to go here in the first half.
Behind the sticks here. This is a tough call for any coach.
Oh, yeah. Garcia getting ready to take the snap, drops back to pass, looks to his left, complete to the left side, or to the left side. It's to Emmanuel Tellez. Looks like the
Timeout.
Vaqueros will be taking their final timeout of the half, I believe.
I believe so. Yeah, that was the last one.
So 9 seconds left to go here. It's going to be 4th down, so this could be their final chance.
So, Linda, what are you calling here?
Well, it's interesting.
No pressure. I like how that. You know what? I love how you started it out there.
Give her some think time.
Let's
yeah.
see. I'm going to go with just throw the ball into the end zone.
There, yeah,
How's that?
I like it.
You're
All right.
hired.
All right.
Yeah.
You're
I'm
hired.
in.
We got
See?
a
I told you I have
substitute coach.
a lot of knowledge. Yeah, I see Ethan is on there too. Joseph and Ethan were both in that video. They both did a great job.
There you go. And we love how they're supporting.
Yeah.
They're supporting their league mates here.
Yep.
Now, I have to mention this. Since we have some time. This year so far,
You're here.
GGUSD is 2-0 against the Anaheim schools. Hopefully tonight we make it 3-0.
Make it 3-0.
Garcia drops back to pass, lets it go, has a man intercepted by the Colonists.
You got to get to him.
Let's see if we can get the stop here. Still on his feet. Going to be brought down. That's going to take us to the
Take us to the half.
end of the half.
All right, no damage on that drive, so that's...
So the Vaqueros are going to go into halftime with a 21-0 deficit. Hopefully they can make some adjustments and come out better in the second half. I want to thank Mr. Primo, Miss Giuliani for joining us here
Thanks
in the
for having
booth.
us.
We're going to let you go down. I'm sure there's a halftime. There might be a halftime show, right? I saw the band earlier.
Absolutely.
So
Band's getting ready to come
there
on
you go.
out.
Let's get you down there to watch it. Thank you and appreciate it.
Appreciate
you.
being invited.
Thanks, David.
Appreciate you doing this.
Thanks,
Thank
David.
you.
Appreciate it.
Bye,
Thank you.
David.
Bye. So we're going to go ahead and fix the camera right now so we can get a better view of the halftime show. We're going to let that go. I'm going to take a little bit of breather. I thank you for tuning in to Garden Grove Unified School District Athletics High School Football Friday on Thursday. I'm going to get a little breather. Go get your snacks. You have some time before the band gets started, and I'll be with you in just a minute.
say, what you do echoes in eternity. But for most of us, our words will be forgotten. So we must ask, how will your voice be
So we are at halftime here. For some reason, I cannot hear myself in my monitors. And that's why. So we are back here. Halftime. Colonists 21-0 lead over the Vaqueros. About 2 minutes left to go until we get started, and the referees might add a little bit of time as the Colonists haven't even made their way back out to the field, or the Vaqueros to warm up. So we will most likely have a little bit of extended time here for halftime. 21-0 Colonists lead over the Vaqueros. I am David Mora. You are tuned into Garden Grove Unified School District Athletics High School Football Friday. Story of the first half, big plays by Anaheim and good field position. Some penalties helping them out along the way. Rancho not able to get things really established. Can't get the run game going. They had some success with the passing game to end the half there. Hopefully that continues here in the second half, but the Colonists will be getting the ball back. They're going to be getting the ball back with a 21-0 lead, looking to extend that. Rancho needs to come out ready to go on defense, get a stop here, get that ball back, and try to get something going on offense to get back into this game. Rancho riding a 10-game win streak against against Anaheim going into the game here tonight. Santa Ana playing Garden Grove this week. So, still plenty of ball game left to be played, a whole half. This is not a lead that isn't insurmountable. So definitely a comeback can be done here for the Vaqueros. As we get our other camera on here, and let's see. And that one's not on my halftime deal there, so what we'll do is we'll wait a little bit to get that on. Let's actually go to our game time deal here, as that's not a field goal. Ignore that. Like I said earlier, sometimes the graphics go awry. There we go. And I don't know why it's playing the replay deal. A lot of craziness going on here. Anyway, here we go. Both teams coming out to warm up here for the second half. I'll settle in too. It's been a long week. Anyway, like I said, Vaqueros need to come out here and get a stop here. Get this ball back and go down and get some points and get themselves right back in this game. 3 scores is not something that you can't come back from. So we'll see what they can do. Thank you everyone who's tuned in, who's participated in the chat so far. Thank you, Eric, for tuning in all the way from Henderson, Nevada. And that's exactly why we do this. It's for people who can't be here in person tonight. Turn on the stream, and hey, you can even watch it tomorrow, watch it next week, watch it the week after. It'll live on our YouTube as long as YouTube is in business. I don't know about you all, but I am ready for the weather to kind of cool down a little bit. Make setting up unbearable sometimes. The booth is a little bit stuffy. You can't turn a fan on because then all you're going to hear is the whole time. Looks a lot cooler outside though. A little bit of mist in the air. Earlier, before the end of the half, we were talking about how Garden Grove has a 2-0 edge over the Anaheim schools so far this season. All GGUSD schools will play at least one Anaheim team this season. Of course, everyone in the Garden Grove League plays Loera. That's Rancho, Los Amigos, Santiago, Bolsa, La Quinta. But Garden Grove plays Catella and Western, Catella being in their league, the Big Four League. Pacifica has Cypress and Kennedy with them in the Empire League. Of course, Santiago tomorrow night will be playing Savannah, and Rancho also plays Savannah. A few weeks ago, we saw Bolsa defeat Savannah 27-21, and Santiago defeated Anaheim 22-20 last week. So, yeah. Bit of a connection. Of course, the cities being right next to each other. We get some of those matchups. As I am now being joined in the booth here by the man we talked about right before the end of the half, Dave Melly, District Athletic Director. Let's see, Dave, are you in? Let's see. Check, check, he's in. So, what do you make of this first half from Rancho?
Well, obviously tough going for him. Get there we go.
There we go, this one, right?
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what mic he's on. There he goes, he's on mic 2.
Yeah, so kind of tough going for Rancho there. I think Anaheim displaying their size. They're a big team. Good offensive front there. And, yeah, kind of wore down Rancho there in the first half. Rancho didn't have much going until right there at the end. Kind of ran out of time, forcing themselves. But we'll see. Coach Enright and his staff, very, very good in terms of coaching and adjustments. We'll see what they come out with halftime with. And a whole new ball game here.
Yep, exactly. That's what I said. They'll go into halftime, make those adjustments, and then hopefully come out and get a stop here on this first drive. Come up with a little squibbler, and that's going to be recovered there. Recovered by number 41. So the Colonists going to have some decent field position. Ball's going to be at their own 46-yard line. So you mentioned, you know, some big plays and then some penalties hurting Rancho there in the first half and just not being able to get anything done.
Yeah, a lot of penalties for Rancho in the first half there.
So here we go as the Colonists get ready to start their first drive of the second half. I keep saying first half, like I'm ready to go for a third half tonight. Definitely not the case here. Garcia getting ready to take the snap, hands the ball off to, I believe, Benitez, and he's going to get maybe a gain of 1 on the play. Now Rancho was able to do a very good job against this run game for the most part of the first half, but they did find some holes there, as you said, wearing down the Rancho defense.
Yeah, getting a good push. Obviously, just long, methodical drives they've been able to get going with. But again, we'll see if that can continue on here. Anaheim with a little bit more of a spread look here.
Garcia takes a snap, hands the ball off nonetheless. Left side for Benitez. He's going to get maybe a gain of 3. Going to try and get the stats for these Anaheim linemen here. You got Joshua Mays, who's 5'9", 250. Enrique Mendez, he's 5'10", 220. So we got 56 in there, and we just mentioned Enrique. John Garcia is 5'10", 235. Humberto Gutierrez, 5'11", 200. So, some size on that line there.
See if Rancho can get some pressure here on this third and medium.
Garcia drops back the pass, looks to his right, feels the pressure. Nice block there. Let's go that ball. That's complete to Benitez, who's going to stumble his way to the Rancho 36-yard line.
Yeah, good block. If you're Anaheim, might have been holding call if you're Rancho.
It's perspective, right?
Well, coming up, I stayed down there for the halftime show. It was a pretty great performance by Rancho's band there, I thought.
Yeah, good job. I didn't even get to mention in Rancho's band with a nice performance there. Benitez on the carry.
Yeah, great job there by Rancho's filling out that counter action. So had both a guard and tackle pulling on that. And Rancho able to spill that to the outside and pursue.
Now we might be a little bit delayed here with the commentary and the camera just because of the fact that we're using the huddle camera.
Testing out our technology, right?
Trying to streamline things here. Yeah. Now if you're a student in Garden Grove Unified and you want to learn how to run a camera during a live stream football game, feel free to contact us. We've got a few openings. Garcia drops back the pass, looks to his right, throws one deep. He's got a man there, incomplete or complete.
We got it. Wow.
Oh my goodness. Very beautifully defended pass by number 11, Alex Cruz, but didn't bat it away, and that was brought in by number 12, Victor Mejia, for a big gain, and right away Anaheim is cooking here.
Yeah, that ball was loose in the air and fell down right into the arms of the receiver there.
And good concentration by that receiver. Got to give credit where credit is due.
Yeah, tough break for Rancho. That was a second and long or third and long in that situation, and not really any receivers open there.
Here we go, Garcia now, first down and goal. Hands the ball off to Benitez to the left side. He gets a gain of about 4 yards on the play. It's going to bring up second down and goal from the 2-yard line. So right away, Anaheim coming back out of the first half, out of halftime, ready to go. You know, we'll say maybe a little bit of luck involved on that play, but sometimes that's all you need to keep going. Three wide receivers here for Garcia. Benitez in the backfield. Hands it off to Benitez up the middle.
Touchdown.
And it's a touchdown. Looks like Benitez is going to have his 3rd touchdown of the night. As the Colonists now extend this lead to 27-0. And this isn't something that's typical of Rancho or even expected at all.
Nope, yeah, completely unexpected. Again, if I had to handicap this game going into it, obviously Anaheim was capable of winning the game, so was Rancho, but I never would have guessed it would have been a 4-score game at any point.
No. And you know, it's when we talked about it earlier, it's hard to gauge how teams are, but I'm sure the other Garden Grove League teams kind of looking at this game, and
well, especially with
Santiago beating Anaheim 22-2. And again, you can't, there's no way that you can ever look at one matchup and then look at another matchup and say that's exactly how it's going to end up, because teams react in different ways and sometimes come up for different teams.
Yeah, week to week, it's going to be a challenge in the Garden Grove League. We know that. We've talked about that so far this season. We'll talk about it many more times in the weeks coming up. But even the opponents here, you know, even this Anaheim team, obviously they are playing efficient tonight, playing good football, and they're up by 4 scores. And, you know, I have a feeling that if they play Rancho, you know, 10 times, this is probably not going to happen 10 times out of 10. But obviously the game plan that Coach Brewer has tonight is working. And again, they're grinding down, and we'll see again how Rancho reacts here. Rancho's going to have a tough time though now, because they don't have the luxury now of being able to play a balanced offense, run the ball and pass the ball. They're going to have to be a pass primary offense the rest of the way here.
And you know, this Anaheim team coming into this game again with a 10-game losing streak against Rancho and losing last year. Now, we don't want to say a lot of that plays into it, but you know, a lot of that could play into it. Rancho will have that ball at their own 35-yard line to start their first drive of the second half.
And again, on the Rancho side here, pretty good crowd for a Thursday night.
Yeah, we were mentioning that earlier. Crowd still into it?
Rancho always has a good crowd week in and week out, no matter when they're playing or where they're playing. Again, as I'm sure you mentioned, this typically is in their home stadium.
Yep.
They typically play their games at Bolsa, but
they will gladly make it their home for the night.
Looks like we have a different quarterback in.
That's right. In at quarterback now for the Vaqueros is Vinny Gentile or Gentile. I don't know. It's hard with these pronunciations sometimes. So let's see what he can do, and that's got to be a little bit concerning when you see a different quarterback come into the fold here.
Yeah, again, it just could be a simple matter of, like I said, they are now going to be in a kind of hurry-up mode, pass-first mode, even though they're coming out with 2 runs here. But just the tempo of the offense might be different. Maybe Coach Enright's going to give this quarterback a different look here.
That handoff not going anywhere. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 9 here for the Vaqueros. Vaqueros with 4 wide receivers, shotgun formation. Takes the snap, looks to his right, throws it, has a man open, but off the fingertips of number 4, Luis Lopez. It's going to be 4th down for the Vaqueros. And the punt team coming out onto the field. No reason to go for it here. Anaheim has 2 returners here on this punt. Punt's going to go get downed at the 41-yard line. So Colonists, again, not bad field position.
I'm not sure. Maybe Rancho's quarterback number 3, Henry Garcia, he might have suffered an injury. Maybe I didn't see earlier.
He's right here. I see him right here on the right side.
Because he was punting for them earlier.
He was
this
punting,
game.
yeah. So he looks good. He's walking normally, but maybe just something to be precautious about. It's one of those where you play. It's a fine line, right, Dave? It's if a kid's maybe a little banged up, how much do you want to push him and maybe lose him for a lot longer than just 1 half?
Yeah, it's a long season.
So Colonists now, their second drive of the second half. They're going to be starting at their own 41-yard line. Let's see what they can do here. Let's see if their game plan changes or if they kind of stick to it and keep passing. They've got 4 wide receivers, like the look of this formation. Handoff to Benitez. Takes it up the middle. Gets a gain of about 3 yards. Going to bring up 2nd down and 7 yards here for the Colonists. Colonists, of course, they don't have to be urgent with their play calling at all. They don't have to rush up to the line. They can take their time and milk the clock. 6 minutes and 32 seconds left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Now looks Benitez jogging off the field for Anaheim, and he's looking like he's jogging a little gingerly. Could be a cramp.
Yeah, we saw a lot of those last
Yep.
week. Not a lot tonight, but a lot last week.
You know, a cooler night tonight compared to last week.
Yeah, this is kind of perfect football weather right now.
Now the booth up here, it's a little bit steamy, but at least I can feel the breeze out here. Handoff to number 22 for Anaheim. We'll get that name right now. That's Joseph Valle. And again, Anaheim can just run the ball and run the clock out as much as they can.
Yeah, last 2 times Anaheim's been in this situation, though, in a 3rd and long. They've been able to convert on some long passes. Obviously, that one that led to the touchdown right before, but also a mid-range the play before that. So let's see if Rancho can get some pressure on here, if they're just going to rush the 4 defensive linemen and fall back.
So Fernandez getting ready to take the snap. He's got trips right with a man in motion. Takes the snap. Yep, he's going to pass. Looks to his left, has a man wide open. That's number 9. That's complete. He's still on his feet. He's going at the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5, the end zone. Touchdown number 9, Jeremiah Castro. And the Colonists are really opening up this lead now.
Yeah, great pass there, great find, and obviously a great catch and run.
And it looks like he just snuck down that left side of the field and beat his man and just got behind his defender, and just a nice throw there by Fernandez. And we didn't get that pack. I forgot that I had the regular camera on, so you didn't see it, but it was a nice was a nice touchdown. The huddle was a little bit laggy, so I guess we could have gave you the laggy view instead of just a view of the end zone emblem. We'll switch over right now. Hopefully it caught up. It's actually 34. I need to give Anaheim 1 point. I don't think I gave them the extra point on the last one. So there we go. It's 34-0. Anaheim over the Vaqueros right now, just taking it to them. Perhaps playing with just a little bit extra tonight.
Well, it looks like we had a ejection on the Rancho side. Looks like an unsportsmanlike. I believe that was the last signal by the white hat there was an ejection, so that would be unfortunate.
Of course, when you're facing a deficit like this, sometimes emotions get the better of you, and
Frustrations.
we've all been there. We've all been there. So Anaheim looking to tack on the extra point here to extend this lead to 35. 5 minutes and 12 seconds left to go here. Any update from Bolsa?
Yep, that's
Trying to look up what's going on here with La Quinta and Saddleback. We got that play blown dead before he even got a chance to start. Now 34 points, it's a lot, but we've seen crazy things happen in sports. So who knows? They could come back.
It is possible. They're obviously up against it, though, not just with the score, but Rancho a little bit young, especially in the quarterback department, you know, coming off the last couple of years. Yeah, a little bit more solid and experienced there.
Yeah. And this is expected. You know, you got a quarterback who, you know, Chris Hurley, who graduated, who was kind of their, you know, their stud there for a few years. And sometimes a team needs a game like this to really set them onto a stronger course. And of course, this one not over yet. Hopefully that's the thought process on the sideline. There's still plenty of football left to be played here. I think we're going to try and switch over again to the main cam, and I'll just remind myself that, hey, you're the main camera guy, David. Stay on the camera. Again, we want to thank you all for tuning in here to Garden Grove Unified School District Athletics High School Football Friday on a Thursday. Shout out to everyone in the chat here. Being joined by District AD, an occasional co-host, usually around the third quarter. David
Around the
Mellon.
third quarter, yeah.
That's when you get the Dave and Dave show.
Yes.
It looks like that penalty will be assessed here on the kickoff. So Anaheim kicking off from the Rancho 45-yard line here. So Rancho not going to get a return here, I would guess.
Well, we got an update from across town at Monsoor Stadium. La Quinta has won the game already. That game is over, 59-6.
Wow. So La Quinta putting up some major points on Saddleback. Pretty sure that running clock in the second half there did a lot to help that game end early.
Yeah, that's a great score for La Quinta, obviously. They're coming off, what was it, 24-0 last week, I believe?
23-0 over
23-0
Godinez.
over Godinez, and then a 59-6 over Saddleback.
Yeah.
They got to be feeling good. And again, they're another one. They got a sophomore quarterback leading them. So great win for Coach Stewart and La Quinta tonight.
And for them, that's one of those games that can give them some good momentum moving forward. Those good, good to get those W's on your back. Now, Saddleback might not be the greatest team, but still, nonetheless, to be able to get a victory like that and to score that many points against anyone is great.
Always feels good to win. La Quinta next week looks like they're at Costa Mesa on Friday.
And that should be a good game for them next week as well. Vaqueros here, trips left. Beautiful run there by Diego, still on his feet, getting away from some tacklers there. Gets a gain of about 18 yards before he's brought down.
Probably a face mask here.
Hopefully a few yards added. There we go, that's right. Personal foul, face mask on the Colonists, and that's going to move Rancho deeper into the Anaheim territory. So chip away little by little, right, Dave?
Yeah. If nothing else either, I mean, again, this is a pretty big deficit here at this point, but if nothing else, it
It's
gets
getting
you some
experience,
yeah,
right?
experience and get you some momentum for next week, your game next week. And
yeah, you don't give up just because the score is over. Every play is an opportunity to get better and to learn. And Diego gets the ball again. He takes that up the middle, still on his feet. He looks like he's going to get some major yards here. Still on his feet. Brought down inside the 20. He's going to be marked at the 16-yard line. So Rancho now cooking. First and 10 from the Colonists 16-yard line. And again, the crowd still here and still alive and roaring. Trips right for the Vaqueros. Hand off to Diego one more time, and hey, if it's not broke, you don't fix it.
Yeah, this will probably be a hold here. They're going to back him up.
Dave with a good eyes saw that flag come down. We'll throw the flag graphic up there. Why not? Huh? There we go. There we go.
Bit of a discussion going on. Probably talking about yardage and how to apply.
And you know, last week we had a bunch of discussions by the referees. This week, I think they're finally starting to understand, mesh a little bit, maybe getting a handle on some of the new rules, and they're going to wave that flag off. So that's good news for the Vaqueros. Vaqueros again, trips right.
Let's see if they run into the boundary here. No.
Pass to the right side. That's going to be complete to number 2. I believe Emmanuel Tellez. Maybe a gain of about 2 yards on that play. What would you say?
Yeah, it looks like a little bit more than that.
About 4 yards, 5 yards. Third down here for the Vaqueros. Of course, in this situation, 4 down territory, I would assume. Hand off to Diego to the left side, breaks a tackle, gets upfield, close to the end zone. They're going to down him just inside the 1.
Oh, touchdown.
Oh, they're going to give him a touchdown, so the Vaqueros get on the board for the first time here tonight. Lead now 35-6 Colonists, but that's what you like to see, and the energy is still here in the crowd.
Yeah, that drive, obviously a lot more spread formations, running their inside zones a lot on that, and just picking their spots. Running back had a lot of holes to choose from on that. See if Anaheim adjusts to that.
And of course, we wouldn't mind if they didn't, and Rancho can get back into this game and pull to within 3 scores. 3 minutes and 13 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So 35-7. Vaqueros cutting into this lead a little bit, and again, chip away little by little.
Yeah, what have we had here? We've had, what is that, 6 made extra points. Again, that's not a sure thing in high school football anymore, so
yeah, I mean,
shout out to both kickers.
respect to the kickers out there for doing their jobs. There's no, Brett Maher from the Cowboys? You know, there's none of that going on.
And Tony Romo in the holds. Let's see if Rancho does any kind of shenanigans here, or just he's going to kick it deep and try to play.
Yeah, they did try the onside there on that last kickoff to start the second half. Nope, they kick it away. Ball's going to be received at about, it's going to be fumbled and downed in the end zone. That's an automatic touchback there. You can't run it out in high school. You know, Dave, I don't know if it's good that ball went into the end zone, because I think if they would have had a chance to receive it, they probably could have pinned him back a little bit more.
Yeah, I think they're going to discuss this. I don't think he ever had possession of that ball. This might have been an inadvertent, because he obviously.
Yeah, he never grasped it.
Well, and he touched the ball. They're going to call it a touchback. But, yeah, he touched the ball out and then lost it. So it's all about when they determine if he had possession or not.
That'll move him up to the, is that the
20,
20,
yeah.
the 20? It's all these rules at the different levels.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not too long. And as you're mentioning there, college is the 25 now,
Yeah.
I believe, for college. And that has not trickled down to high school.
Of course,
Court-
high
and-
school lags a little bit.
They do. Well, in the college game, too, it's almost automatic that they're going to have a touchback most of the time anyways.
Yeah. And out to
big
Benitez
holes.
again to the right side.
Yeah, Anaheim is doing a great job tonight. They're controlling the line of scrimmage. A lot of holes opening up. They're doing a great job.
When you have a run game that's as good as this Anaheim run game has been tonight, makes it hard for the Vaqueros because that clock's just going to keep running and running. Is under 3 minutes here now, and they'll probably be able to run this clock down all the way to the end of the third quarter unless Rancho can get a few quick stops here. Garcia's got 3 wide receivers, takes the snap. Again, hands off to Benitez, and he's going to get himself the first down.
Another thing that Anaheim's done really well is they do not go down on first contact.
No.
Their yards after contact tonight are probably sky high.
Yeah, very hard to take down.
Of course, as I'm sure you've mentioned multiple times tonight, these two teams, not necessarily in football, but for all their other sports, are going to be a part of a new 15-team conference.
This is the first time we're letting the cat out of the bag here in this game. Want to tell us more about the...
Yeah, so football will be a little bit different. Football is separate from the leagues and conferences.
Oh!
They'll attack it.
We got something back here. Vaquero injured right now, or not injured, but down on the field.
Hopefully that he's all right there. We got Rancho's trainer Melissa's out there, so I'm sure I know he's in great hands there. But yeah, the re-leaguing is starting next year, and the Garden Grove League, as it's constituted now, all 6 teams are going to join all 6 teams in the Orange League, which is where Anaheim's from, and then there's going to be a couple other from the Orange Coast that are in there as well to form a 15-team conference. And so we will see more matchups between Anaheim and Rancho in the next coming years between all their sports. Again, football is a little bit different. Football is based on Cal Preps ratings, and so we may see them together in football as well.
Well, we'll see a lot of not only Anaheim, we'll see a lot more of Savannah, a lot more of Western, Magnolia,
Century, Santa Valley, yeah. Yeah, as well, again, the Orange Coast schools are Orange, Estancia, and Saddleback.
Yep. Who's, of course, was over at Bolsa tonight. So we're seeing a little, and then in football, you mentioned it's going to be different, but I have a feeling that a lot of these area schools and a lot of the schools that our teams are facing in non-league now will be in their leagues at some point or another.
Yeah, we've mentioned this in previous broadcasts, but yeah, the football, it still should be pretty similar. You have a couple outliers that necessitated this move for a football only. One of them is Western and Santa Ana and Orange. Yeah, schools like that their football programs are far greater than their other programs, and it causes a problem with re-leaguing. But if you take those outliers out of it, yeah, these schools are all very, very similar. Yeah, huge hole there.
Benitez to the right side, and that was a penalty on Anaheim. Most likely probably a personal foul, or actually it looks like maybe it was a holding.
I think it was a hold, yeah.
A 10-yard penalty that brought them back, but they got right back to that line of scrimmage again, their run game. Serving them very well tonight. 1 minute and 25 seconds left to go here in counting. But yeah, those football leagues are going to be really interesting just to see how they all kind of fall into place. And you're going to see some new rivalries probably pop up. And
I hope so. The problem with that is the way that it's structured. Those leagues might be different year in and year out.
Yeah. Hand off to Benitez again.
Although they do have stipulated that the leagues will be intact for 2 years, and they do that so that teams can still schedule home and away for their non-leagues.
Yeah, because that would make scheduling.
It would be a nightmare.
Yeah,
an
if you're
absolute
switching
nightmare.
every single year. And who knows? Maybe down the line they figure out that maybe a 4-year model might serve them better, depending on how these first few years go.
I can tell you a lot of ADs I know are hoping we go back to a 4-year model because we do meet every 2 years, and it's a lot of work. A lot of work goes into it by these schools to make sure that they are in the right spot competitively.
And of course, even with this new way of doing things, someone's not going to be happy. You always have people who aren't going to like what they're in, and Anaheim's going to get a first down and some. Benitez, and again, hard to take down.
Yeah, they've run that route a couple times now and have found success each time.
Clock is going to stop for them to set the chains, but that was probably the last play of the third quarter. I highly doubt Anaheim's going to feel the urgent need to run one more play before we head into the fourth. But yeah, we've mentioned it, and we've mentioned it in a few of the videos, just how special this last Garden Grove League, season will be, and everyone's going to want to have that distinction of being the last champion.
Yep.
Rancho was the first ever Garden Grove League champion, and I'm sure they would love to be able to say, like, hey, we bookended it.
Bookended it, yeah, they're going out.
Of course, Garden Grove, when they left the league, they left as league champion. When Pacifica left the league back in 2006, they left as league champion. So there's something special about having that last, that last year in the league. You just want to be able to just say, hey, yep, that was us. We were the last ones. Well, we take a break in the action. I mentioned earlier that Rancho is my alma mater. I spent a lot of time around the team as a youngster, and get the picture up there. There I am in the highlight video. So probably back around 95 there, 94 maybe. Just that's actually, Dave, that's here at the old Garden Grove. You see
you
see the locker room back there. That's they used to call it Jason Field back here when it was, as Mr. Primo pointed out, not the best of digs, but again.
Yeah, quite a different place now, but you still have that hat? Got that hat somewhere?
I wish I did. I don't. All my, all that gear that they would, being a youngster, they would give me a lot of oversized gear to wear on the sidelines as a water boy back in those days.
Yeah, tough going for David Mora here. He's a Rancho fan at heart, and his father is an employee here at Garden Grove High School.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing. Benitez taking that handoff to the right side.
He's got all that red gear and red clothing that he's got to.
Oh, and he wears
flaunt out to you.
And it's funny is when I was an athletic attendant at Pacifica, and of course Pacifica would play Garden Grove regularly back then, and being here and having him, he would run the stadium crew at that time, and just being able to just jaw back and forth with him.
Yeah, I remember those days.
Yeah. Never lets it down that the first year that we played a home game here, or that Grove was home here and Pacifica was away. Pacifica came close to beating Grove, but couldn't get it done, and the lights went out that night. And I said, you trying to help him out a little bit, and I didn't hear the end of that one. Garcia calls his own number, or actually Fernandez calls his own number, takes it around the right side.
Yeah, I remember that game when the lights went out, and I was AD at the time at Pacifica, and that was right in the middle of a drive that we had, and I was trying to push the referees to go down to the other end of the field because the lights only went out in one bank of the end there, and so I was trying to get us to keep the momentum and go to the other end of the field where the lights were still on, but I obviously got overruled. We had to wait.
And that was a very good game, a very good battle that year. Both teams just came out; they wanted to win that game, and I can't remember who the running. I believe it was Jordan Antunes maybe was the running back for Garden Grove that year, but whoever he took that game over late, and that Garden Grove line just wore out the Mariners. Benitez now getting the first down. Just this Anaheim line's doing the same thing right now.
Looks like a hold here coming back.
Love to see that though.
Yeah, I see some of the Anaheim linemen gesturing to the sidelines. Hey, keep going, keep calling that same play.
And why not, right? I mean, they're getting that good push off the line, and they're doing what they have to do to keep this clock running. Again, you know, blink of an eye, you've got 1 minute and 41 seconds off the clock already in the fourth quarter. So we talked about tomorrow. We'll be right back here. Savannah against Santiago.
Yeah, this will be our second time doing a Savannah game.
Yeah. Savannah coming off a very one-sided loss to Buena Park, and both teams got shut out. Westminster coming here to Monsoor Stadium and shutting down Santiago last Saturday.
Yeah, we did Savannah Bolsa, and that was a good competitive game.
Oh, Fernandez getting away from that sack. Let's go if that ball has a man open and complete.
That's a good pass there. Again, you're taught never to do that as a quarterback, but when it works out, you look great, and that's throwing back across your body back to the middle of the field. But again, another receiver wide open. Great find there.
That was number 9. It looks like Jeremiah Castro on that catch.
I wonder, again, we're not tracking stats here, but Castro, I'm sure, is well over 100 yards now after that touchdown catch that he had earlier.
Yeah, we got to get, again, if you'd like to take stats, feel free to join us here. Fernandez keeping it, rolling out. Stays in bounds and gets away at the 5. And he's going to get into the end zone for another Anaheim touchdown.
I can tell you that Coach Enright is not going to be happy with that play when he goes back and watches film with the team.
Nope. Yeah, just the way that developed there. I think now you can almost kind of say that maybe this one's in the bag here for the Colonists.
And give a shout out here to a Pacifica softball coach, Tony Arduino, Division I champion.
But not only that, Dave,
Tony Arduino.
they mentioned the most important part about that. He's a Rancho graduate.
Well, that's what he's texting me right now. He's listening to. Oh, we got an extra point miss. I jinxed him.
Oh, there you go. Hey, keep it up.
But Coach Arduino is listening to the feed and made sure I know that. He goes, hey, this is awesome to hear. Go Rancho. I'm a Rancho alumni.
Oh,
so
yeah.
We heard you, Coach Arduino, and we love you.
Coach Arduino, the Rancho alumni, and one of the Rancho great baseball players.
Yeah. Went on from there to Chapman, right?
Yep.
Yeah, again, I jinxed the Kickers. They were having a great, perfect night, so then I had to mention it, and of course, the very next opportunity, we get a miss.
Yeah, I take any chance I get to say, when our in the post that we posted up about softball, Pacifica softball, I made sure that people knew that was a homegrown Rancho grad who led the Lady Mariners to a CIF championship, and he's done a great job with that program, and just kept it just rolling.
Yeah, he's obviously done a super tremendous job. That is a hard job to step into. Obviously, Pacifica softball is probably the best program in our district.
We could probably call it one of the best programs at least softball-wise, in the county.
In the nation, to be honest, over the years.
Nationally recognized softball program, by the way. Just countless players that have gone through there.
And again, winning CIF Division I in softball, that is the toughest division in America. There's no doubt about it. Coach Arduino's first game that he plays, a lot of times that's a caliber of a championship team in the first round that other schools are playing in their championship games. So quite a run. I was able to be there for a couple games and at the finals, and it was so much fun. So super happy for Coach Arduino and Rancho producing winners at all sports.
Yeah, and in the booth, Dave, and in the booth.
In the booth, yeah.
Rancho starting this drive from their own 30-yard line. Got trips left here. So I have number 7 at quarterback. We're going to call him Vinny G because I do not want to mess up his last name. So Vinny G at quarterback there. Just hands the ball off to the left side. We'll get a number for you right now. Gain of 6 yards. It looks like number 27, I believe. That was number 27, Cruz Gonzalez. It's a dangerous man. He's got 2 last names, Dave.
That's better than 2 first names, right?
Right? Hi, my name is Johnny David, right?
Ricky Bobby.
Ricky, hey, if you're not first, you're last. Handoff again to Gonzalez. Rancho looks like they've kind of taken out most of their starters, and you still have some starters in for the Colonists here.
Yeah, Anaheim's filtering some people in and out.
It's a good chance for the other guys to get experience.
Yeah,
you might find a hidden gem here during times like this. Benny G rolls out to pass to his left side, doesn't see anything. And that's number 44. You're not going to get away from him. He's been all over the field tonight.
Yeah, he had an open in the flat, but he was waiting for that deeper out to develop.
Sometimes, and that's a learning thing. You sometimes you got to learn to take what you can get there, especially that close to the first down marker. Vaqueros are gonna have to punt. Earlier we had some Bolsa players tuning in and watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to see, supporting their fellow league mates. At the end of the day, it's a little bit of competition between the districts, especially when you play a lot of schools between each other.
Yeah, just like most, local area schools too. These kids always grow up still playing against each other, whether it's Pop Warner, Junior American, whatever it is.
And I'm sure a lot of the Garden Grove kids played Pop Warner and Anaheim, and they play those kids on a yearly basis now when you grow up with them. I know when I was playing Junior All-American, everyone kind of split off, and kids here at Garden Grove, Santiago, La Quinta, Pacifica. Even better when I played Little League. I lived in Orange, so I would play Orange Little League, and then when we would play those guys, I'd see them and then see them on all-star teams, and it's pretty cool. Of course, the youth sports landscape is night and day compared to, it's like back then, you would play travel ball outside of Little League, and now you play Little League outside of travel ball. It's like travel ball is the main thing, and now you've got these unlimited weight division football leagues. You've got the Orange County Buckeyes. Junior All-American was, one of those upper tier leagues along with Pop Warner, and now everything's just so different.
It is, yeah. The club world has definitely taken over, but
beautiful pass there. Nice catch by number 44. That's, I believe, Nathan Enciso.
Yeah, the club sports, though, what they don't have is what we're experiencing here tonight. They never have a crowd like this, at those club games. The high school experience is the only time that you're going to be able to play in front of hundreds and thousands of fans that's here. So
Rancho still going after it. Again, getting good experience here. That's what's going to count right now. So keep going when your backs are against the wall.
Oh,
man,
good pop.
That's a high pop. Yeah, that's a high tackle there.
Yeah, he'll be coming out, lost his helmet, so he's got to come out for a play.
The one thing that Rancho can say is this clock is not a running clock, right? Or is it a running clock right now? It's only running because it was a run play, but.
Yeah, no, it's 35.
So they there you go.
They're just under, yeah.
We'll take it. Vinny G rolls out the pass to the right side. Oh, just overthrows his man just a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that. I'm sure Coach Boer over at Anaheim was looking at that going, man, we could have got out of here a little quicker. Less chance for injuries and, stuff like that.
It's a lot of things, definitely a lot of things come into account like that. Not only that, you get home a little bit early. These kids do have to go to school tomorrow.
They
so
do, yeah. That's the toughest part, obviously, about Thursday night games is you still got to get up 8 a.m., 8:30 now, I guess, for school. You got to be at school.
Student-athlete. That's it's the real deal here. Vinny throws over to the left side. He's got a man open. That's Tellez. We're going to have a first down.
Give a shout out to the Rancho teachers and staff that were here tonight, too. I don't know if the Rancho admin talked about it when they were up here. But
they did, yeah. 15 years so far that they've been doing it.
And they had their back-to-school night last night as well. So the teachers and staff were out late last night as well as here tonight. So
that's dedication right there. Vinny G passes, drops back to pass. He's going to throw a pick. And that's just unfortunate. He had a man right there that was Tellez, the intended receiver, but
I think that's the second one we see tonight where, again, that ball was kind of a 50-50 ball and ends up in Anaheim's hands, and that's just the way it's going for them tonight.
Yep, they're just catching those breaks, and they're going to end that 10-game losing streak. And
and this will be their first win, right?
First win on the season, yes. They
lost to Santiago and then Ocean View, right?
Lost to Ocean View last week. And, that plays a lot into it, right? You come in at 0-2. You don't want to go to 0-3. You might be playing a little bit differently than the team that's coming in here 1-0.
Yeah.
You've lost to this team 2 years, 10 years in a row, but a lot of these students probably 2 years in a row.
Well, definitely a confidence builder because both of their losses against Santiago and Ocean View, those were close games. And so being able to have a close game and then have kind of a breakout party here, I'm sure they're going to feel great tonight. And them going to school tomorrow is going to feel a little bit different than Rancho. And
I'll tell you that the rest of the Garden Grove League teams are looking at this and they're thinking like, okay, they're going to look at what Anaheim was successful with, successful at with Garden Grove. Now they do run a different offense than, La Quinta and Santiago, but still it kind of gives them that little glimmer of like, okay, it can be done.
Yeah, again, as I'm sure you've mentioned multiple times tonight, you got to remember Rancho is the 5-time defending Garden Grove League champion. Until they're beaten by a Garden Grove League team or a collection of team, they're still the champs. And obviously, last year they find ways to overcome adversity. They lost to the Quinta, who ended up as tied for last in the Garden Grove League, and they lost to them and found a way to come back out and win every game in convincing fashion after that. So I have full confidence. Obviously, Coach Enright will get on this team and get them better week to week, and they will be a whole different team by the time the Garden Grove League comes around.
And like you said, Los Amigos sharing the league championship, but they weren't able to beat Rancho last year.
I tell you, I'm real excited for the Garden Grove League. I know they sometimes get knocked, but it is going to be a fun, exciting league this year. It's going to be
they
full
all,
of parity. Anybody can win any night. Just depends on how you play.
And they all understand the magnitude. The coaches, at least, understand what this means. It's the last Garden Grove League title. You want to be the team that says, we were the last champions. Anaheim probably just going to run the ball here and run out this clock. As we look forward to tomorrow night and bringing you our second game of our double feature this week. And
I know one person that's super excited, and that's Coach Osvath for Santiago. He is pumped up and he's ready for the broadcast.
Let me tell you, Coach Oz is the most pumped up person that you're going to run into, and I just love the energy that he brings, and it's infectious. If I was there at 4:30. At the end of a long work day, and I was ready to go another 8 hours. That's just the kind of energy he brings and his enthusiasm, and I want to give him a shout out. He sent me a roster today with pronunciations, and he said, you know what, I'm going to highlight some of the guys who might be getting the ball, and he was, he's all about it, and we love that. Of course, we're finishing off next week at Los Amigos with Coach Malo Guess, and he's another one who's always receptive to us, and all of our coaches are awesome. But those two, they just have a different vibe when it comes to us being around and kind of giving their teams that good publicity and putting on this live broadcast for them.
Yeah, Coach Galbraith, who's also one of Los Amigos athletic directors, he's very supportive as well. That helps out with Los.
Yep. So Anaheim still passing the ball here. Not much doing on that. It's incomplete.
Again, as we mentioned, Los Amigos, that Los Amigos team sharing the league title with Rancho Alamitos last year. First time, I think, since 2013, I believe.
For Los Amigos, you know what? We can double check that right now as I bring out the book here. The high school football book, Orange County High School football book. Actually, no. That was Los Amigos' first championship since 2008.
2008. Okay, yeah, that sounds right.
Bad snap on that punt. He's still able to get it off. And, yeah.
Speaking of Los Amigos, again tomorrow night, San Diego Savannah. Former Los Amigos coach Carl Agnew is coaching Savannah now.
Yeah, that's right. See him again for the second time this season. So as we look at the history, you know, Rancho was a first league champion in 1966. You know, those early years featured a lot of shared championships, as the last few years have as well.
Yeah, it's an almost certainty that when you got 5 other teams that you're playing against and you only play a single round, there's going to be a lot of ties and coin flips and all of that.
So last year, right, Garden Grove League, you had 2 4-1 teams. 3 2-3, or 2 4-1s, 3 2-3 teams.
Correct, yeah.
And, you know, La Quinta down there, but, you know, beating Rancho.
Yeah, and they actually didn't go to a coin flip for that 3rd spot. They head-to-head was able to figure it out, but again, that was a team like San Diego, one of those teams caught in 2 and 3 that was left out, just as they were all bunched together.
Now, that's not even the craziest season the Garden Grove League has had. No. We're talking about it. We'll throw these out throughout the year, but let's see. Back in 1971, you had La Quinta at 5-1, San Diego and Rancho at 4-2. Then you had a 4-way tie there with 4 teams at 2-4. So, I mean, lucky thing that, you know, those teams weren't battling it out for the final playoff spot, as things were different back then. Only 2 automatic bids.
The worst I can remember recently was actually in the Sunset League. It was years ago. Maybe you can look that up.
I'll look it up because there's actually a special note
in
this book.
They had 5 teams tied at 2 and 3.
Yeah.
And they had to figure out from there, and it was a nightmare to try to figure out what that scenario was.
Right here. It was actually so 5 teams finished with 3-2 records in league play.
Okay.
And there was nothing in the league constitution.
Yeah.
Now, what's sad about that, or not sad, but what's interesting about that, Edison was the team left out.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a team who has...
And at that point, yeah, they were probably the best.
Oh, yeah. They probably, and I'm not sure.
Them and Los Al, at least, yeah.
Who won the title that year? Let's take a look.
And what year was that?
That was like 2000. We'll take a look right now. It doesn't say exactly when. Oh, it'll show me right here. 2008.
2008.
So let's see if they had a finalist that year. No one made the CIF finals that year for them, and it probably could have been Edison. But that league's always interesting. You had Huntington Beach a few years ago who started the year off terribly. I think they got in as an at-large team. Ended up going to the CIF finals, beating Newport Harbor, their league rival, and winning their first title since the Tony Gonzalez days.
Yeah, it's a little different now, too, with obviously the CIF divisions are based on competitive equity, not just on the leagues that you're in.
Which is a good thing, because
it is, yeah.
You had teams like Tustin and La Habra trouncing teams in the first round 70-0. La Habra beat Anaheim, I believe, in like 2000, late 2000s, 84-0 in the first round. And you really don't, you see some games like that now, but most of the time you're seeing those close games.
Well, again, you know, Orange County has grown so much over the years, you know, from what it used to be, where you take a look at a school like Esperanza. You know, Esperanza was just a powerhouse and everything. They had over 4,000 students, and as time has gone on, obviously, they have shrunken down in their enrollment
they've
and
opened
population.
Up Yorba Linda High School, and who's siphoned, you know, students away.
With the addition of so many more schools in Orange County, that's necessitated more divisions, obviously,
Yeah.
and as they add more divisions, they're looking at, okay, how can we make these divisions more equitable? So yeah, it's definitely been a good thing, but we'll see how things go. We'll see if we end up with playoffs changing for other sports. Obviously, with football now, nobody knows what division they're in for football because they use this current year's data to determine what playoff divisions they're in. And so we'll find that out at the end. And I have a pretty strong feeling that we're going to start to see that for other sports here in the next year or two.
And you'll start seeing, there we go, Rancho gets a nice little run there. You'll start seeing teams now add to that, their trophy case.
Yeah.
You've seen teams now that, teams that hadn't been making it deep in the playoffs. You see Western making deep playoff runs in the past few years. Laguna Beach last year, who has never really been known as a football school. Nice run there by the Vaqueros. Minute and 26 seconds left to go here in the game. Trying to think of other schools that have kind of benefited from this.
Well, it gives you, it gives schools that have not had a lot of success, gives them a chance to have success and then move up, if they go from there. I think of even a school like Canyon. Canyon has won a championship recently here.
Well, we don't have to look far. It just hit me. Yeah. 2021, Loera.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Loera making their run as Rancho's going to get themselves a touchdown here.
Yeah, who is that? Let's get some.
Was it 27 or? Yeah, that was number 27. We got it over here. Cruz Gonzalez on that touchdown.
Yeah, that Loera championship, I think that was their first one in football ever,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And they obviously won it in Division 14. That's the lowest division, and again, gives their school some success. They're going to hang that banner, happy, proud. In fact, I drove by Loera this week.
I drive by it every morning.
Yep. And there it is. It's actually on the baseball field, I think.
Yeah.
On the outside of the baseball field.
Outfield, yeah. Good placement. Now, as a Garden Grove guy, that kind of gets me. It's like,
yeah, they were the third place team that year.
Yes. Yeah. But I mean, that's what the new divisions do. Hopefully one of our, as we move forward, we can get a few championships. And districts are now getting 2 and 3 champions in a season because all their teams are spread out.
Yeah, Bolsa had a good shot last year.
Yeah.
Again, they were in that low Division 14, and they actually ended up losing to the eventual champion, Whittier Christian.
It's rare when you get 3 teams who can really do it. I think the last time Garden Grove has gotten to having 3 teams that look like they might have had a chance is back in 2017 when you had Pacifica, who went 9-1 in the Empire League. You had Garden Grove, who ended up winning their league, their first season in the Big Four League. And then you had La Quinta, who made that. Oh, no, that was actually Garden Grove was still in the Garden Grove League at that point. And it was them and La Quinta, first and second place. But that's when they had the different divisions. They were in different divisions, so La Quinta making it to the semifinals and losing to, I don't know if it was Big Bear. Yeah, it was. They had to go, or Silver Valley. Silver Valley, I believe it is who it was. And of course, Garden Grove, who did they lose to that year? Can't remember, but Pacifica went down to.
This is an impressive. This guy's an encyclopedia here, knowledge here.
Well, I remember the Pacifica one because we were there. That was Valley View.
Valley View, I remember,
Yeah. I can't remember Grove, but I do remember La Quinta because that was such a special story. They had a Bolsa-like run, where they hadn't really done anything since the 80s. And to have that was their first semifinal since, I believe, 1990 or 91.
Yeah, we thought that Valley View was a bad draw. They were a pretty good team.
Yeah. And then you talk about these new divisions, and it still wasn't perfect and still isn't. The year after, Garden Grove had to play San Gorgonio.
Yeah.
And San Gorgonio had won a few championships and dropped down divisions.
That's right, yeah.
So it's definitely not perfect. I don't know the criteria, and I don't know how it works, but we've been saying it for probably all 3 weeks. The CIF sometimes is just, they do some head-scratching things, and we love them. Let us broadcast our playoff games.
Well, yeah, now with it again being all Cal Preps, you know, it's open in public for everyone to see week in and week out what those ratings are.
You just have to know how to do math and count it up. Looks like this is probably going to be the end of the game here. Don't think they need to run a play. The Vaqueros are going to go down to the Colonists 41-13. 14. I didn't put that extra. See, I didn't put that extra point up. Good conversation. 41-14. Good luck to them as they continue their season. You can catch us tomorrow here live again. Santiago hosting Savannah here at Michael Monsoor Memorial Stadium. We thank you for tuning in. I'm David Mora for David and Mamali. You have been tuning in to Garden Grove Unified School District Athletics High School Football Friday on a Thursday. See you all tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.